Okay, go.
Okay, with oxygenic photosynthesis, we know that we're going to be using oxygen because this is going to be the whole redox reaction. It's going to be carbon dioxide plus water. In the presence of light, we're going to get glucose and oxygen. And when you're talking about oxygenic photosynthesis, you're talking about plants because they get their energy from light, and they get their carbon energy from carbon dioxide. When you're doing any of these redox reactions, you always have to remember the LEO means loss of electrons means oxidation, and gain of electrons means reduction. And for one example, if let's say we're going to take carbon dioxide, it doesn't have any hydrogen bonds, any hydrogen ions, I'm sorry. But then this is the products, these are the reactants. If carbon dioxide goes over here, then over here it's going to gain hydrogen ions, so then that's going to be called reduction. So gain of electrons is called reduction. And then if we take water, over here it does have hydrogen ions, and then it's going to go to over here, which is going to lose electrons. So it's going to be loss of electrons is oxidation. And for this oxygenic photosynthesis, like I said, we're going to need chlorophyll A. And this one is made by cyanobacteria, algae, green plants, just any kind of plants, just remember that. And then, like I said, energy source is going to be light because plants need light. And then the carbon source is carbon dioxide. A different example is going to be aerobic respiration. And for aerobic respiration, it's this whole formula. We're going to start off on this side. It's just the signal is turned this way. So we're going to start with glucose, which is carbon 6, hydrogen 12, oxygen 6, plus oxygen. And then over here, if we take the glucose, we're going to put it over here where carbon dioxide is. And then if we take the oxygen over here, this one doesn't have any hydrogen ions, and it's going to be over here with the water, H2O, because over here it's going to gain the hydrogen ions. And the purpose of this, we are aerobic respiration. We use aerobic respiration, and the whole purpose of it is to produce energy, which is in the form of ATP. For this one, the whole process, you will need the three things. You will need the glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and the electron transport chain. Okay, and then, so just remember, anaerobic means no oxygen, aerobic means with oxygen. We are chemoheterotrophs. We use aerobic respiration. So like I said, this is the whole redox reaction. Another example of chemoheterotrophs are animals, fungi, some protista, some bacteria, and some archaea. Chemoheterotrophs require preformed organic molecules. Basically, that means that we need to ingest our food in order to make energy as a source of energy. Okay, so it says that in carbon, for example, like I said, us humans, we are preformed organic molecules for pathogenic bacteria. So it's not that bacteria is all bad, it's that basically we are preformed organic molecules. So we are their food source. So they're just trying to eat. And then to make ATP, chemoheterotrophs may use, the first one that they would use would be aerobic respiration, because with this one you can get 38 ATP per glucose. So that's the most used one, that if they could, they would go to number one. Then the second one would be anaerobic respiration, because you get from 2 to 36. It would never be any less than 2, and it would never be any more than 36 ATP per glucose. And then for number 3 is fermentation. And for fermentation, you would get 2 ATP per glucose. So that would be the third choice if they had no other choice. For metabolism, there are 2 types of reactions. Metabolism is all the chemical reactions that occur in a cell. So if this is the cell, this is the metabolism. It means changes that are happening in the cell. That's what metabolism means. So catabolism basically means degradation. It goes from a big molecule, so from a big molecule to a smaller molecule. Anabolism means biosynthesis. which is going from a small molecule to a bigger, larger molecule. And this is what I was saying for the hydrogen atoms. When they talk about hydrogen ions, you can call them protons because hydrogen has a plus, so it's proton. And then, or you can call them an electrons. Like I said, this is the redox reaction for glucose. So this is the whole redox reaction for glucose. It goes glucose plus oxygen will turn into carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. 1/3 of that energy will be going to ATP, and then 2/3 of that energy will go into heat, which all of this is energy, even heat. Okay, why is ATP so important? When hydrolysis of bonds between 3rd and 2nd phosphate happens, you get a large amount of energy. So if this is the drawing of ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate because it has 3 phosphates, when you remove with force that third phosphate, then that's how you make energy. What can we do with ATP once you remove that 3rd phosphate? You can do cellular work, including anabolism, which is biosynthesis. You can also do transport and motility. So ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate, which is the energy currency. It's like the dollar's currency in our body. So like I said, hydrolysis of ATP releases usable energy. It goes from ATP, this will be the whole thing, ADP, which is 2 phosphates plus 1 phosphate would be the triphosphate. Now, phosphorylation of ADP requires energy. So like I said, to remove that 3rd phosphate, you require that energy. So this is the hydrolysis, or not hydrolysis, the phosphorylation that you would need in order to create ATP, which would be ADP, that's two phosphates, plus 1 phosphate, plus energy, because you require that energy to make ATP. I think we can pause it. You want to pause it?